grateful for that wonderful session. Can we clap one more time? And Miss Kim Clay, she always knows how to do this leadership thing. I'm telling you, she knows how to do this leadership thing. I think all of us here are in a really, really wonderful place, not just because we're in the house of the Lord, but you are sitting next to somebody that's great and they don't even know it all the way, all right? So look at your neighbor and say, I'm glad to sit next to you. Yeah, glad to sit next to them. My assignment, Bishop told me a couple of things that he wanted me to kind of focus on, and I want to be obedient to it. When we are dealing with leadership, when we are dealing with people, when we're dealing with ministry, when we are dealing with business, you need some type of teamwork. And that's amazing. I did not call Kim or anything, but I'm just going to piggyback on what the stuff that she kind of dealt with. And I want us to, if you see in the screen, teamwork, healthy values for your team. Healthy values for your team. Everybody say teamwork. Teamwork. And so I'm learning that the success of ministry, business, leadership, all of those different capacities depends largely on developing a strong team with a deep sense of team spirit. The spirit means something, and I've witnessed the wonderful, incredible power of being unified as a team to create growth, and in what we just heard, increase and something of just enlarging. And I've even counseled and coached some people that God has allowed me to partner with. They were not growing because of the team. I've been there before on a pastorate assignment, that it was the team. It wasn't just individuals. We just couldn't work together somehow, some way. People couldn't work together, and I believe that the time has come. I think it's been here. Is that the church really kind of, let's grow more as a team. Business, let's grow more as a business. And no matter where you are, you cannot make it operating just as an individual, right? Just as an individual. You got to learn how to gel, intertwine, intermingle with people. And so on my first screen here, I have this wonderful quote that's given by Rick Warren. A team spirit is never accidental. It is always intentional. It is never accidental. It is always intentional. You got to be purposeful about your team spirit. You just learned about a team. I'm talking about that spirit of the team. That helps us to come and show up every single time it is on us to do something. When it's time for us to perform, what's our spirit like? When it's time for us to minister, what's our spirit like? When it's time for us to make money, what's our spirit like? If it's time for us to pray, what's our spirit like? And so we have to find that way of doing that, because teamwork is built on at least three factors. There are plenty others, but I want to look at these three: compelling purpose, crystal clear communication, and a code of commonly held values. And so all of our values have to mean something, and that's where I want to park a little while, just for the next few moments, talking about teamwork. And I want us to understand that I'm going to give you 8 in a simple acrostic way with the acronym of teamwork. And so the first one that I'm looking at is T, of course. T, and T stands for trust. T stands for trust. And so right there, I'm going to give you all of them. So the E is the economy of energy. A, affirmation. I'll leave it up there for a second so you can look at it. The next one, M, management of mistakes. W, it's weekly staff meetings. Don't cringe. O is open communication. R is recognition and reward. And K, I told you we piggybacking, is keep learning. My team, your team, our team ought to have just these, at least these eight. At least these eight has to be very, not accidental. They need to be intentional. We need to bring this up intentional. And guess what? I didn't just say values, but I'm talking about healthy values. Healthy values, because just because we have people don't mean it's healthy. Just because we're overflowing and busting at the seams does not necessarily mean we have a healthy growth. My father taught me this. He said that not all growth is healthy. And he said, son, you better remember that even an infection grows. And I was like, wow. And I didn't understand it until later on, of course. And I'm like, it makes sense because, you know, if something is going on within your body, the first thing you understand and know is called inflammation. Something swole up and something's going on. That don't mean it's so good and you're more anointed than anybody. That means it's something in there that you have to address and get to. And so the next slide, trust, dealing with trust. And so trust is the emotional glue that binds a team together. It is essential to produce confidence in each other. I'm learning that it's never my opponent that breaks my confidence. It's normally my teammate. And so I want us to make sure we get into a better place, that we don't always want to water the glue and tear the glue apart that binds us as a team together. I trust you. I love that. Trust you to make some decisions. I trust with that. Yet, and even to add on to it, when I do trust you, I want to know, can you keep these three things with me together? Inside that circle that you see on that screen, there's three words: consistency, loyalty, and delegation. How to handle your trust, get your trust together to get into that wonderful place that the power of unity is really prevalent in your life and in your team and in your business. One of the things is consistency. People will trust you if, time after time, they see you responding in a consistent and reasonable manner. You also need to be readable, in the sense that they need to know where you are coming from in your decisions and your responses. Consistency. Let everybody say consistency. And so I want us to make sure we know that it's not just about somebody else showing up consistently, but what about me? What about me in my own showing up? Not only that, secondly, there's loyalty. You see loyalty there? Defend members of your team when they are criticized. And then check the facts later in private, always assuming the best until there is some concrete evidence on the contrary. Loyalty is not always addressed as somebody being there always for you. But loyalty is also addressed when the trust is being tampered with. And so that's our conflict resolution, all right? Within the conflict, whenever, I think we all have experienced conflict, right? Y'all ever cuss somebody out? Have you ever been cussed out? All right. The Christian way and the secular way. All right, Christian way, look straight forward. Don't tell nobody. Just look straight forward. We all have known this. I had made this note. I saw this note. You have to view conflict, though, as a growth opportunity. Conflict itself, the word conflict, the happenings of conflict is neither good nor bad. Because sometimes you need bad conflict to straighten up. But then you need good conflict to challenge you so you can grow better. Because all of our systems change every once in a while. Y'all do know that, right? Because this is 2023, not 1963, not 1983. I'm pushing, not 1993. I know you was on your cutting edge in 93. I know. It's not even 2003. It's not even 2013. Look where we at 10 years later. We're in 2023 and times are changing, right? When you properly manage conflict, it can lead to very productive outcomes and serve as an opportunity for people to grow both professionally and personally. I don't want my team to just grow just as a team. I need you to grow as a person. So not only does my organization need to grow, but I need the people in my organization to grow. Does that make sense to us? All right, so that's our loyalty piece. Then there's delegation. When you delegate to your team the power to make decisions, you're essentially telling them, I trust you. I trust you. And they might ask you, hey, do you need to see this before I do it? I trust you. I do that a lot of times, and it messes people up because one of the things that I'm trying my best not to do is put my hands on everything. And so it's very difficult. I know it gets, and it takes some practice for you to do it. And sometimes people don't know that you're practicing, but you need to know you're practicing. I don't care if it's somebody taking the trash out. You don't have to go behind them to make sure they tied it up. Let trash be trash. Let them do their part. They say, hey, I got it. Pastor, I got it. Apostle, I got it. Bishop, I got it. Sis, I got it. Doctor, I got it. Okay, good. All right, thank you. Hey, did you need to go check to make sure I put everything out? You said you were taking trash out, right? Do I need to worry about something? Good, I trust you. And you leave it and you go. Listen, people trust leaders who trust them. All right? So here it is, E. Let's go to E. Next slide. The economy of energy. I've learned this through COVID. COVID was a major game changer for my leadership. It was a game changer for my own personal life. Some stuff that I didn't want to accept, I had no choice but to accept because I was in it. And I was like, all right, let's figure it out. And I learned that the quickest way to burn out a team is to never let them relax. I don't know why the pandemic came. Just through things. I might refer to my father a little bit more. When my father passed away, that took a lot out of me. And I learned some stuff through it because I was like, I got to keep going. And wait a minute, you got to learn to relax. Let me tell you how amazing God is, because if you don't sit down, he'll sit you down. So the entire world had to sit down for at least 2 years, right? We had to all sit down. We had to chill out. We had to just wherever we was at, we just had to do what we needed to do and just enjoy it. You didn't take a break. And it wasn't even no Kit Kat break. It was a long break. You just out there, you're doing it. And one thing, if we be spiritual enough, a little bit, just for a quick second, the pandemic was almost like a famine. If you wasn't prepared during that time, you learned how to be prepared. And God gave you enough grace to get yourself together. Now this stuff is moving a little bit. I never said it's over, but it's moving a little bit, that you can operate at a higher level now because you learned something after you learn how to sit down. And so we learn how to relax. And so Proverbs 14, verse 30, the Living Bible, around the A clause, and the whole text is good. It says, a relaxed attitude lengthens a man's life. If you want people on your team to last, they got to have some downtime. Meditation time. Ice cream time. Sweet potato pie time. Pound cake time. Y'all notice I'm just trying to put my order in. So everybody, you got to have some type of and to my business people that may not be all the way saved, you got to have some wind down time. Some Moscatos and Stellas and communion. Hello. All right, make sure you have some communion. And so your energy Your energy does not get better because you're doing everything. Eventually, you'll run on fumes. And everybody that's ran out of gas before know that fumes won't carry your car, but only for so long. So as you take care of your temple, as you take care of your body, as you take care of your mind, learn how to sit down. Your energy is your moneymaker. Your energy is your moneymaker. I know they told you other stuff was your moneymaker. No, what energy are you bringing? You know, what energy are... Because eventually that thing get tired. Okay, no. Anyway, so you and I have to make sure that we're handling our own economy, handling our own energy levels, and the way we do that is sometimes by relaxing. Relax your attitude. Don't be so uptight all the time. Relax a little bit and allow some things to come to you where you're. And so within your team, now I'm just going to share this with you. Some ways that you can promote the economy and a great economy of energy within your team is you have to anticipate and compensate for personal family energy drains. Everybody has something that happens in their life where somebody gets sick, there's a new baby that's being born, there's a death in the family, and I'm learning, and I don't know if, because we really wasn't taught this too much, that your team has a life outside of where you are. You got a life outside of ministry. You got a life outside of work. You got a life outside of your business. And if all that you do is just predicated upon where you are doing your due, oh, what a sad life you're living. Because we got to do something. Even Jesus pulled away. Now, there's some other lessons that he pulled within that, but we all have to pull away sometimes and make sure we're preserving our energy. Not only that, but allow people to work at different energy levels on different days. One thing I do, I know people say Friday is a rest day. You kind of slow some things down. No, I work with the same pace on Friday as I do Monday, right? The reason I do that is because I wanted to meet deadlines, right? I want to meet my deadlines and do all that stuff. But everything that I need to do for the end of the week, I do a little bit every single day. And I touch it. As long as I touch it, all right, I'm done. Go to the next thing. Touch it, go to the next thing. And so, like as a preacher, Sunday is not the day. Saturday night is not the day that we prepare for Sunday. Does that make sense to us? Actually, when you finish on Sunday night is the time you prepare for the next thing. But you're doing it mentally, but you're doing it little by little, going to where you need to go. In your business, after you've had a successful event, let me tell you something, that next day, start working for the next time. Touch it little by little, little by little. Look at somebody and say, little by little. Yeah, if you do it bit by bit, you'll be good. Not only that, but plan your year in energy cycles. Say, hey, y'all, we're going to hit this thing first 2 quarters of the year. We're going to hit it hard. Last quarter, we're just going to kind of chill. We're going to party. We're going to enjoy this year. We're going to just kind of, we're going to almost autopilot, but we're going to do something a little different that they did when they drove the long Cadillacs. We're going to cruise. That's what we're going to do. We're going to cruise. I'm not stopping. I'm just going to cruise. I'm not bringing up anything new. No matter what everybody try to encourage me to do, I ain't doing nothing else new. No, we good. We good. We bought the building. We finished the parking lot. We made sure pay raises were in there. We did the budget for our year for next year. We're doing good. Now we're going to cruise. Now we just get to manage where we are and preserve where we are. Allow flexibility in schedules when possible. Do you know that you don't have to close at midnight? Did you know that you don't have to work until you fall asleep at your computer? Did you know that you don't have to finish every single thing in one day? Be flexible. Be flexible. If you're going to work hard all week, tell yourself, we're going to ride this thing out for 6 days. But the 7th day, we got to rest. We got to rest. We got to do something else differently. And not only that, the last thing I just want to encourage you with is make it fun. Make it fun. Have fun when you do what you do. That helps your passion. That helps your energy level because you're having some fun. I'm telling you, if you drive people like they slaves, they'll rise up and create a revolution, and you're not going to like it. So you don't do that. Here's the next slide. A is affirmation. A is the affirmation. Did you know that everybody is hungry for affirmation? When they don't get it, they get a little cranky. And it's amazing how a smile, a handshake, a hug, some dap, some peppermint. I'm just saying how small it is. And a simple word of encouragement can change a team member's entire day. Because you don't know what it took for them to get there. Because remember, I let you know, they have a life outside of where they are. So in ministry, when people come into worship, the first thing that you say to them is not for them to do something. Ask them the question, hey, good morning, how you doing? And that's not a greeting. Good morning, how you doing is not a greeting. That's a question. So if you made that question, if you said that to somebody, check. Just stare at them until they answer. And if they say good morning and don't answer, hey, wait, where you going? I asked you a question. How you doing? I guess I'm okay. Whoa, you guess you're okay. So you mean tell me that God woke you up this morning? He started you on your way. You ate something, you got some Starbucks, you drove here safely, you didn't get in an accident, and you telling me you doing okay. What's going on? What's going on? Because we're about to go out here and do some praise and worship, and I need you to be good. What's going on? Is there anything that we need to address? Is there anything I can help you out? Do we need to pray first? Because you can pray before you consecrate. So once you get yourself together, get in that good place, then you'll be able to tell somebody and help somebody what they need to do. So here's some 4 practical ways that you can affirm your team. The first one is value in their ideas. Everybody has ideas. Let me be honest. Let's not all of them good ideas. But I don't need you to say that it's not a good idea. You know what I need you to say? Okay. We can work with that. Just like we say somebody say, hey, anybody got questions and all that stuff? And you got to tell them there are no wrong questions. And the reason you're saying that is because sometimes you got to allow clutter to get out of a person while you're teaching them. And so if you're the leader and you can endure clutter because you know how to handle clutter, let it go to the trash. That's how to handle clutter. Throw it away. Not repurpose it, not reorganize it. No, let it go. And so when somebody does come up with like a kind of stupid question, you say, okay, all right, keep going. Because sometimes it takes people a little while to get to going. But once they get to going, they going because they got the clutter out of the way. And secondly, appreciating their uniqueness. Diversify. Have some diversity. I'm not talking about all the stuff that our world is trying to do, different things like that, but I'm talking about you as your team. Start appreciating their uniqueness. If there's somebody that dresses way different than you dress, let them dress how they dress. Let them do their thing. You handle your business. You do what you got to do. You be like, I wouldn't wear it, but that's you. But guess what? I appreciate you doing that because I don't want you to look like me. So you wear what you wear, do what you do. Thirdly, commending their efforts. Great job. Hey, great job. And don't say it bland. Really mean it. Man, great job. Like who taught you to set that table up like that? Like, you got a business or something? What are you doing? Like, how you did that? Good. Well, great job. I appreciate you. 4, praising their loyalty. Every time the doors are open, you here. I appreciate you. If I had enough money to pay you every time you was here, you'll be rich, I'll be broke. But I appreciate your loyalty. I appreciate you being here. So affirmation does work. M. Let's go to M. M is the management of mistakes. A righteous man falleth 7 times, but he keeps getting back up. Everybody falls. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody falls. Everybody makes mistakes. All of us have sinned and come short of the glory of God. All of us have messed up. Every last one of us. I don't care how wonderful you think you are. You have made some mistakes. We have made some mistakes. The wonderful part is, in the next part of that verse, it says, they rise again. Every time we fall, we get back up. Look at somebody say, I just keep getting back up. I keep getting back up. I keep getting back up. And I love and I love it. I love it over and over is that people, we make mistakes and we stumble occasionally. Mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are not failures because you're never a failure until you give up. Now, you can't give up just because you made a mistake. Mistakes teach us what doesn't work. Does that make sense to us? You get to learn what didn't work. You be like, man, I signed up and I got that car loan and all that stuff, and I found out, did you know that if you get a car loan, you got to pay the bill? You got to pay the car note. You got to actually pay the car note. And and you learn something. You learn something when them yellow lights came. I've been there before. When the yellow lights came, and outside, you're looking out the window, you're like, what? That ain't the police. What? Oh, Lord. They are taking my... Yep, that's my car. Yep, that is mine. That is... Do I have the keys? You start looking around, you like, yep, that's mine, that's mine. And then don't be talking about what the devil meant for evil, God. You know, don't do all that. You got to pay the bill. You got to pay the bill. Has anybody ever did that? Like your internet start acting up at the house, and you start blaming the devil, and then you start looking around, and then you start looking at yourself. You say, did I pay the bill? And it's just an outage, you know, fret not thyself. It was just an outage. That's all it was. It was just an outage. So your management of mistakes. Mistakes are going to help us. If you're not making mistakes, it means you're playing it safe. And you're not trying anything new. I try to tell my staff, I try to tell my team, anybody that I partner with, that I want every one of them to make at least one new mistake a week. All right? I love it. You and me both. You and me both. As long as it's not the same mistake. If you singing the same song week after week, something going on. Mistakes are how we learn and how we get better. Look at somebody and say, manage your mistakes. Manage them. So if I make a mistake and I fall, I haven't failed. The only way I fail is if I stop trying. So my biggest thing that I want to tell you on this point, don't stop trying. Keep trying. If you haven't tried, try. Will you mess up? Yep. You absolutely will. And guess what? You want to mess up. Because failure is not final, all right? So here's W. Here's W here. Weekly, all right? Weekly staff meetings. A new thing that I kind of started with my new team in my business is I want to be able to kind of talk with you. I'm little simple powwows here and there. I ain't saying we're gonna be here an hour and all that. No, we literally might be 5 minutes, but I want us to get into a place where we're actually acknowledging some things. So we're looking at some things, and this kind of will let you know about the power of unity. All right. Now, when you call a meeting, I want you to pay attention to the atmosphere. All right? Because there are literally some meetings that you should probably come in there and just give an encouragement. There are some meetings that you have to come in there and you gotta lay down the law. Say, hey man, hey, we messing up. We not doing it. And guess what? You don't blame nobody. You say it started with me. And what you do is tell them your mistake. You say, man, I did not prepare for that last project we had. I winged it. I sure did. Matter of fact, I don't even know what key we were supposed to be singing in. I messed up so bad. Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I preached a message that was an old message. And I said that I'm going to pull new wine from an old well. That was wrong with me because I needed to be led by the Spirit. Yes, sir. That's right. That was wrong with me. You know what I did not do? I did not pray. Amen. I did not pray. As a matter of fact, here's my wonderful mistake. When I walked through the door, the usher greeted me. The greeter had greeted me, receptionist greeted me, and I didn't even speak. So those are my mistakes. And then it opens up and allows your team as well to say, oh man, like I got a human leader. I got a human leader. I don't have no machine. I ain't got no robot. I got a real leader along with me. And he or she is able to tell me their mistakes. So therefore, I'm not going to hold my head down. I'm going to show up. As a matter of fact, if you keep being human for your team, they'll keep being human for you, and y'all will continue to grow over and over again. Because guess what? Now we recognize that everybody's human. That as soon as you make me feel like you're not human, my loyalty is out the door. And so this good report here, there's something that we can do, these 4 questions that you can ask yourself, ask your team to do this on a weekly basis. I've made progress in what? Whatever that blank is, whatever their progress was for that week, put that there. The second question is, I'm having difficulty with what? It don't matter. I'm having difficulty with trying to figure out how to print. I don't know how to print on the network. I keep going to brother. I keep going to his desk and asking her, can you print this for me? Write that down. I need a decision from you on the blank, blank, blank. Whatever that decision is that we have to do, because everybody's trying to meet a deadline. Everybody's trying to handle some stuff. We're trying to come up with a social media campaign. We're trying to come up with the next book idea. We're trying to come up with who's going to be in charge of this, because from month to month, all of our roles could change, because all of us are kind of like matched a little bit, but we're struggling with trying to figure out each other's gifts. Yes, sir. And that's that DISC assessment. We got to figure out how to do that. And so I had a chance to take an assessment to try to figure out what was my natural versus my adaptive style of me living and me working and doing business. And I had a big gap. I would change too much like a chameleon. And if you're not being your natural self, your team could suffer. So be yourself. That's my message to myself, and I just encourage y'all. Y'all just was in on my conversation with God. Be myself. And then lastly, the 4th thing is, I'm thankful for what? If you was thankful for your paycheck last week, be thankful for something else this week. If you was thankful for life this week, be thankful for something else next week. Try to encourage and boost the gratefulness of your team, because it always bothers me when I work with people and they're not grateful for what they have. One way to turn somebody off is to complain and just be ungrateful. You're like, I mean, it was good, but, but just kind of canceled everything, right? And so now I'm intrigued. Now I want to hear what's after this but. I want to know, what are you saying? What is it that's so bad that you're complaining about now? Because you done cancel everything. You mean tell me, Apostle just told us that we raised $10,000. And you whispering, but we could have did better. Okay, so, bruh, sis, let me help you out. The $10,000 you just did was totally different, above and beyond tithes and offering. So I want you to be grateful for that, because if God can do that, If he can do that part, then he can raise the stakes and he can do something else in a different way. Does that make sense to us? And so every week, be grateful. Every week, find a way to be grateful. Here's my next slide. Open communication. I'm still on the acronym teamwork. Open communication. Open communication is the cornerstone of great teamwork. All right? Open communication. Now, Proverbs 13:17 says, reliable communication permits progress. So that's Proverbs 13:17. And I had to look at that, and I was like, man, this is kind of interesting, because there are some common barriers that we all have for great communication. Remember, I'm not just talking about just in a general sense, but we want to be healthy with our communication. We want to be healthy in our team. We want to be healthy with our unity. Don't just call for unity. Be it. Don't just go. Don't get on News for Jacks. Don't get for Action News. Don't get there when they interview you and say, well, as a community, we just need to be unified. You just let me know you don't know what's going on in your community. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on. So hey, sir, what do you think about what happened over with the shootings? We just need to bring more unity to our community. You're letting me know you don't know what's going on. You have no clue about what's happening. And calling for, don't worry about it. Let me go. Open communication. Presumption, impatience, and pride. 3 common barriers that we all have dealt with. We've brought it to the table, or somebody else has brought it to the table. Does that make sense to us? The presumption part is how many problems have been caused by the phrase, but I assumed. I just assumed that. I thought we was doing the same. No. And these are sometimes some fatal assumptions. Assuming that there is only one way to see a problem. Not only that, assuming that everyone feels just like you. Do you know you don't speak for everybody, right? Also assuming that someone will never change. Don't assume that. Assuming that you can know someone else's motives. No, you can't do that. Don't assume. Don't assume none of that stuff. Not only that, impatience. Impatience ruins communication. It ruins open communication, because sometimes people are so interested in hearing what you're saying so that they can say what they need to say. They ready to talk. They ready to jump soon as you get finished talking. But that's not what I meant. And wait a minute. I said a whole phrase. I just let you know I heard what you said. I let you know that bothered me. But I heard exactly what you said, and I think I need to do better than that. They missed that whole part. They said, no, what I was trying to say was. You're not listening to anything that I'm saying. Impatience causes you to jump to conclusions. All right? Don't jump to conclusions so quickly. When you have open communication, when you have a team that's with you, when you're trying to strike up and make sure you're exercising the power of unity, when you're making sure you're trying to keep that cornerstone of your team together, when you want the ministry to grow. Oh. Because when you have open communication, it stops you from presuming so much and being impatient, and we get to attack that pride. You still gonna have your seat just because there's more people in here. You're gonna have it. I'm telling you, you're gonna have it. It's good. It's gonna be so good that we're not gonna have no place to sit. We're gonna be standing on the wall, and then the apostle gonna get up. He gonna say, "Hey, we moving locations." No matter where, in your business, as you're meeting with whoever you're meeting with, you should love to hear the words that somebody say in your business. This is not gonna work. And you try to figure out what they're talking about. What do you mean it's not going to work? You have outgrown that system. That system was when you was only making 10 grand a month. That system was only when you had 100 clients. You're grown now. You got 1,000 clients. You're grossing 6 figures a month. You got to change the system. So you gotta start talking to people that's higher than you. So you got to get out your comfort zone. And you got to go talk to somebody that's a millionaire that may not look like you. Or find out what the millionaires that look like you. Found out, because they do exist. They do exist. And so we have to do that. And so the pride part is when you think you know it all, you are resistant to feedback. And you become defensive instead of really listening to others and learning what they're saying. Pride comes before a great fall. It comes before destruction. Pride can stop us from growing so much because we think that we're the only game in town. We're the only people around. We're the only ones that's able to do something. And then after you do what you do and you done messed it up and you push more people out than coming in, don't be so stuck on yourself that you can't hear a word that says, hey, I need to reel you in for a second, because did you not see that whole family left out the church? Did you not see those people come in and they left out? Hey, you can be a little bit more nicer when it comes to helping them with that. I know they skirt don't look like your skirt. But we got cloths. They can help us do it. It'll be all right. We can help them out. I know he smell a little different than what you smell. And, now you're using it for medicinal purposes and he using it for recreation. So what's the difference? So teach him something. You got to teach him something. Raise yourself up and don't be prideful and let things happen. Here's R. Here's my next slide. Here's R. Recognition and reward. The more credit you give to others, the more you develop a team spirit. The more credit you give to others, the more you develop a team spirit. You have to recognize people for their good work. Recognize them. Let them know, hey, man, I see you. I see what you did. I see you all the time. I know you're hurting. Your body hurting. You're walking with your cane today. I see you. But you're still here. Man, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, and I know God proud of you. The company proud of you, too. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for what you're doing. As a matter of fact, just for you coming to work, not just every 2 weeks to get your paycheck, but for you coming and going above and beyond. Hey, we got some lunch in the back room for everybody. And guess what? No, it ain't pizza. It ain't hot dogs. It's not peanut butter and jelly. Even though that's a great delicatessen, even though that's really good. No, we got some good stuff in there. We got a private chef, and he's gonna cook everything that you need to order. Here's the menu. Reward people. Give them gift cards. Not for $20. Not for $25. Start at $50. Listen, when God has been good to you and you work real good, you ought to start anything at Jubilee. Start at 50. Start at 50. Start at gratefulness. Start at Jubilee. Do what you need to do. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate what you have to do. And so Romans 13:7 in the God's Word translation, it says, pay everyone whatever you owe them. If you owe them taxes, pay them. If you owe tolls, pay them. Here it is. If you owe someone respect, respect that person. If you owe someone honor, honor that person. Give honor to whom honor is due. And there's nothing wrong with recognizing and rewarding somebody for doing the things that they need to do and be grateful for them. Here's the last thing. Here's K. Keep on learning. Keep on learning. Now, I left this slide here. Do you see anything wrong with this slide? This alt right? Does anybody see anything? K not full of it. What else y'all see? Anything. No wrong answer. I mean, you want me to move? I'll move. Y'all see anything different? Like a problem? Anything like that? Just based on you being here tonight. You didn't see it? Not yet? So, so this slide has the body writing of another slide that I had earlier. It was on, it was on M, the management of mistakes. It's the same slide. The only thing I had changed was to keep on learning. Same exact slide. Because remember, I told you, just, a righteous man falls 7 times, but he keep getting up. We said amen. We shouted. It was all that good stuff. And so now we got to keep on learning. And so I left the slide up there when I was mad at myself a little bit earlier. And then God said, come on, man. Come on. Come on. You're learning. Keep learning. Keep learning. And you learn from your choices. You learn from your mistakes, right? But all leaders are learners. We should always learn something. I love it. I like reading books. Even though my business is a part of books, and sometimes I get tired of reading, but I have to keep reading. Got to keep reading. No, I love it. I love it. Keep reading. The moment you stop learning, you stop being a leader.
All right. That's so good, sir.
Many of us consult and we talk and we are on team with other people's. And in order for you to grow your organization, you have to be a growing leader. Because growing, like for instance, growing churches have growing leaders. Growing businesses require growing leaders. Growing schools require growing leaders. And that's all the staff that makes up that particular school, and everybody does what they need to do. In Proverbs 18:15, the intelligent man is always open to new ideas. In fact, he looks for them. You'll find that in Proverbs 18, verse 15. Do you encourage your team to keep growing? Do you encourage your team to keep developing? Do you encourage your team to keep learning? I want to always encourage each and every one of you to keep listening. Keep listening to books, keep listening to tapes, keep listening to CDs. Anybody still got cassette tapes? Yeah? That's what I'm talking. In store? Yeah, me too. Me too. Sat there, I looked at it, and I was like, man. I said, look at this. This is some tapes. And I had to find me a pencil. Give me a pencil and rewind this thing. Well, make sure this thing is right. Make sure it's still good. I encourage you for this time, sharpen your skills, develop your character, keep on learning. Read a book, pray. Here's what's helping me currently in my life. If you pray, make sure you do something parallel to help that prayer. All right? If you pray, you be like, God, I need a miracle. I need you to go by the doctor, do this, do this, do this, do this. But guess what I want you to do? I want you to do something that the doctor can't do. On top of your prayer. You see what I'm saying? I want you to pray and exercise. If you say, well, I'm gonna do some weight loss. I'm gonna do some weight loss. Okay, sound good. Proud of you. Do some weight loss. That sounds real good. Now what I want you to do is after you pray, now I want you to watch your calorie intake. Pray and fast. Don't eat fast. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You got to do it. You got to do something that parallels with your prayer. And that's my encouragement to you. You want that teamwork. You want some healthy values there. As you see, listen, I want you to connect. I want you to connect. I didn't bring like any products or anything like that, but I want you to go online there.